From AccuWeather.com, this is AccuWeather Daily, a brief host-read article. It's weather news in a nutshell. While parts of the mid-Atlantic and Northeast had some high clouds from the outer fringes of Hurricane Imelda earlier this week, no precipitation fell north of Washington, D.C. With Imelda pushing farther offshore and high pressure taking control of the pattern, dry weather will continue through at least the rest of this week. For many locations in the Northeast, this dry weather began back in August, even though places like Chicago had rainfall above the historical average in August. Only 15% of the historical average fell in September. This has caused expansive drought across much of both the Midwest and the Northeast. Other locations also had a notably dry September as well. Not only is the dry weather intensifying the drought, but it is also affecting agriculture. Farmers in the Greenbrier Valley of West Virginia, for example, are being adversely impacted by the drought. One farmer had to sell lamb early because the pastures are too short. Some much-needed rain did fall in the Northeast last week. While there were some short-term benefits, they were limited. Although parts of New York, Pennsylvania, and northern West Virginia had 1 to 3 inches of rain last week, farmers indicated that most of the moisture was runoff and did not help to rejuvenate creeks, ponds, or the soil. As the drought has continued to grow in length and intensity, other impacts are beginning to become apparent. Soil moisture is severely depleted in the Northeast, and groundwater at a measuring station in southern Vermont is near a record low. AccuWeather's Chad Merrill went on to say that it would take another 3 to 6 inches of rain in the Northeast to catch up to the historical average. With a clear sky and calm wind combined with the dry ground, there will be a potential for a frost or freeze in parts of the interior Northeast this week. Temperatures will also be a bit below the historical average for daytime highs. As high pressure begins to shift offshore on Friday and over the weekend, high temperatures will return to levels above the historical average. Abundant sunshine and the dry ground will continue to be contributing factors to rising temperatures. Although the sun angle is getting lower as we head toward winter, the sun's energy is able to go into heating the dry ground instead of evaporating moisture. Chilly mornings will not be a theme farther west, and some record highs may even be challenged. The summer-like warmth will last until at least Saturday and perhaps through Sunday. After that, it does appear that much cooler air will move into the region. Unfortunately, only locations in the Dakotas and northern Minnesota may receive beneficial rain. There is the potential for some rain along the cold front farther east, but any rain is expected to be short-lived and progressive and do little to alleviate the drought. There was a time when blue and green jays were distinct entities. A resident of San Antonio, Texas, recently photographed a unique hybrid, though, the surprising offspring of a green jay and a blue jay. Green jays were once found close to the Texas-Mexico border, but these days their range has expanded as much as 200 miles to the north. San Antonio is about 150 miles from the U.S.-Mexico border. The photograph told the story of a bird with an unusual mix of traits, the bright blue plumage of a blue jay, but facial markings that strongly resemble a green jay. Genetic testing confirmed the parentage, with a nearly even split in DNA between the two. Hybridization between bird species is not unheard of, but what makes this case so intriguing is that green jays and blue jays have long had very different ranges. Green jays are typically found along the southern border of Texas and into Mexico, while blue jays dominate much of the eastern United States. Only recently have the two species' territories overlapped in meaningful ways, creating opportunities for encounters that were once unlikely. For bird biologists, the find raises interesting questions about behavior and adaptation. Green jays are known for their social structures and vibrant green and yellow plumage, while blue jays are recognized for their intelligence, vocal mimicry, and sharp blue coloring. How the hybrid navigates natural traits like song, foraging, and flocking behaviors is not yet clear. So far, this bird appears to be a one-of-a-kind case, and no other hybrids have been confirmed. But as bird ranges shift and species interact in new ways, scientists expect more surprises at the edge of these overlaps. For ornithologists and birders alike, it's a reminder that avian biology is full of complexity, and nature often defies neat categorization. A changing climate also plays a role here, and it is not the first time the animal kingdom has reacted and adapted in turn. Scientists have documented growler bears, which are hybrids of grizzly and polar bears, and they're thought to result from the two species crossing paths more frequently as their ranges overlap. That's all for now. You can find more regional forecasts and science-based articles at AccuWeather.com, and for your local forecast at your fingertips, download the AccuWeather app. Enjoy the rest of your day, be safe, I'll be back tomorrow with more from AccuWeather.